Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Some call us Orlando's power couple.
Oh, yeah.
We're known as that.
Yeah.
So, Tom Dan, we get called Tom Dan a lot.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned on Twitch, we do a little Twitch warm-up before we start recording, and you could hear all that at twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. In fact, I'll just tell you what I did. So I've been working on my mix, Angel from the Monsters.
Yeah.
Hit me up, and he said, hey, I'm doing a lot of these guest guys, tastemakers and professional DJs and people that I know are like doing guest mixes for me. Would you like to do one? I said, yep, my God, I'm honored. So he
didn't ask me. I'll do a mix.
I'll let him know. You know what? I'll let him know.
Well, I don't want to do it now because now I'm an afterthought.
I'll let him know. But I put together my first, he needs 2 20 to 22 minute segments. So I put together my first 22, which is like a mixture, like a little bit of rock. It's like rock, country, funky. Like kind of, and I put all those together and I mixed them up and I exported the file. But what I did is I kind of tested it with the Twitch guys. I played a little bit of it while we're kind of setting up in here so they could kind of get it first, right? They get to hear it and say, oh, yeah, that's good, or I don't like that song. You know, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But you could have seen that if you were live on Twitch right now.
Can I just send him my mix in text? Like, hey,
play this. Play
yeah,
no, that's not how it works. That's not how. That's lazy. That's lazy.
Well, he could just put it in Profit and then just back to back. And
yeah, but it's not a mix then.
Well,
it's a playlist. There's a difference.
Well,
and did you?
I mean, that's subjective.
And have you been thinking about the songs?
Yeah.
Do you know? Okay, what are you gonna play? All Lagwagon, all No Facts.
No.
Sublime.
You'd be surprised.
Fun.
John Jovi. What do you call him? John Bon John?
Bob Jovi.
Bob Jovi.
Starts with Firestarter.
By?
Prodigy.
The Chicks?
Okay. Okay. Firestarter by Prodigy.
I thought you were speaking of the Chicks, formerly Dixie Chicks. So I was like, wow, that's
a good start. All right, so you're going to start with Firestarter, Prodigy. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Oh, he's dead?
Well, the white guy with the inverted mohawk, green mohawk, he passed away.
Oh, God.
I want to say
that's a tragedy.
I want to say right before the pandemic or something.
I think you're
maybe.
right, but I don't know what time is anymore. So.
Yeah, and there's also an Easter egg that Samantha's Travis, and me both very much enjoyed in the video game Assassin's Creed Odyssey. There is an Easter egg of the Firestarter guy. He's in one of the missions.
2019.
So, I was right.
2019.
Man, did we not hear about it because the pandemic over?
Well, we heard about it. No, we heard about it.
March of 2019.
We heard about it, and then we forgot about it.
I'm sorry, May of 2019.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it was like, we heard about it, and then it was like, uh-oh. But so anyway, what we were talking about is I was showing the Twitch viewers this mix I'm doing, and the last song I finished with, and I don't mind saying it, is the song Cold by Chris Stapleton. And then I was talking about how talented this guy is. I don't really look at him like a country guy. I just look at him like a really good musician. But he performs a lot of the time, and you can go out and find this video of him performing with his wife. He does an NPR Tiny Desk concert where it's just him, a guitar, and his wife, and she sings backup. And when I look at that, I'm like, there is an element of jealousy, and of like, I look at that, I'm like, my God, to be able to there and create beautiful music, and then have your wife, who's also gorgeous, just come next to you and just gently lay a harmony on top of what you're already. It's just cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it, but then it got me on like, they are a true power couple in the sense that it's not their powers in different directions. They literally are on the same team doing the same thing.
And and they're both doing it really well.
Highest level, right? Yeah. Yes, the highest level. Like, I don't think
they complement each other.
Yes, I don't think you get more soul. I don't think you get better musicianship and authenticity and feeling. Like, you can get people that are as good, but I don't think you're going to go better than when you watch them, you're like, my God, you're meant to do that.
Yeah.
But they are true, in my opinion, that is a power couple. Like, Beyonce and Jay-Z, when they perform together, that's a power couple.
But when you see them perform together, we understand who's the most powerful. I did go see them perform together, and Beyonce ran that show.
Oh, yeah.
And it was featuring Jay-Z.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I don't think...
Is she more rich than he is?
I don't believe so.
That's a tough call.
He owns some companies, right?
So does she, though.
Yeah, that's true.
She's got to be close.
But I think he dipped his toe into music, like getting pieces of other people's stuff.
He owns a record label.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
He started his business before she did, so maybe he's just ahead of her time-wise, right? Because he's older than Beyonce?
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily make him more rich.
No.
She could have acquired more money than him in less time.
Well, I'd be surprised. Like, to me, if I was going to guess, I would think she's more rich.
I would too, for some reason.
But I don't know. But Jay-Z's huge, and he has a lot of people under him that he's making money off them.
So in 2018, Beyonce's net worth was valued at $355 million.
Holy moly.
What do you think Jay-Z's was?
In 2018?
Yeah, I have a 2020 Forbes.
I thought he was close to $1 billion.
Forbes in 2020 reported that she was worth $420 million. How much do you think Jay-Z was worth in 2020?
I like that she was 420. That's interesting. Let's go 900.
Well, I would let 550.
$1 billion.
Yeah, I thought he was a billionaire.
Oh, wow.
I'd heard that.
All right.
He'd always been right there. Like, he's always been sitting in that 900 million.
Yeah.
And I think he's been kissing that for a long time, and then he pushed over
But as far as
hump.
their music goes, her music has made $26 million in digital sales, and he's only made $17 million in digital sales.
Yeah,
So
her music's more popular, but he has more businesses.
he hasn't really come out with anything new recently.
I don't think you need to, right?
No.
I mean,
No,
once
you don't need to.
Once you've sort of ascended to both of them could stop and just be just fine.
Oh yeah, like that's
No,
a
but
lot.
I mean, like, even with like producing things, you've done enough. We have enough of your stuff to know how good you are at what you're doing. You know, but like, yeah, so that got me thinking about power couples. And then somebody mentioned, I think maybe Sam mentioned like Giselle and Tom Brady. And yes, very powerful, extremely talented, both of them.
They don't complement each other though.
Correct.
But yeah, they don't work together.
You don't see them working together. Occasionally you see them together, but I always see, and I don't want to be rude, but it seems a little mismatch. Not negative or anything. I'm not being. I'm just saying it doesn't seem as cohesive as the Jay-Z, Beyonce, as the Chris Stapleton, and unfortunately, I don't know her name. But I like it when you see it complement. Are there any others we're
What about
missing?
Trisha Yearwood, Garth Brooks?
Yeah, that's a good one. But it started with
They've been together for a while.
Started with a touch of controversy, did it
Yes,
not?
it
And I
did.
think that tarnishes it a little bit. If we're ranking them, I think that what I know about how that relationship started makes me feel a little uneasy.
One is always way more talented than the other, right?
No equals?
I'm asking, like,
Well, in my marriage,
makes-
certainly, I am the talent, and my wife is behind the scenes, like very much. Like my wife and I are very much like an Elton John, Bernie Taupin scenario, where she's the Bernie Taupin, stays in the shadows, and I'm wearing a powdered wig on stage, or duck suit.
the husband and wife entertainment duo. Did that start kind of
George
with
Burns and Gracie.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
Gracie
say
Allen?
Sonny and Cher. But that
No, George Burns and his wife were doing it way.
Ike and
yeah,
Tina.
Ike and Tina. Oh wow, that's a. And they performed together.
Yeah, they did.
They performed together.
So speaking of Ike and Tina, is it like Tina Turner is the talent and Ike is just tagging along and wants to be famous, right?
Ike, you're so.
Same thing
He
with
claims
Sonny and
he
Cher.
made her. So.
No, Ike's the
Yeah, of
worst.
course.
Even when I listen,
What did he-
sometimes
what
I have
did
to
he
warm
do?
up on my Peloton. I have to warm up to Rolling Down a River, and you hear him singing. He's like, left a good job. And I'm like, ew, get to Tina. I don't want to hear you. Get to Tina.
Didn't he beat her too?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Tina Turner, I remember as a little boy seeing videos of Tina Turner when she'd be like, I'm your private dancer, dancer for money. And I'd be like, oh my God, that lady's so hot. I was like, you're so hot.
Wasn't it like openly known to, like at the time, where like
yeah.
Ike beats Tina Turner, and then the society just
Turn a
Don't
blind
talk
eye.
about it.
We did that a lot.
Yeah.
No,
We're
but I'm-
just now starting to bring up problematic people, and then everyone's like, "Oh, everyone's
It's a
too
don't
woke,
talk
too
about
woke."
it.
Let's go back to turning blind eyes at women getting beat.
How different of a society did we live in?
Oh,
where-
it was rough,
Where there
especially to be a woman.
there was like this guy, this man is beating a beloved Tina Turner, and
Yeah.
everybody was just like, "That's what happens."
But didn't it? Something eventually
Part of the
happened.
deal.
I feel like something eventually did happen.
I
can't
think it
remember
did
what
too.
it was.
But
I think something eventually did happen
but
because
they
we always
didn't-
bring that up. You
they
know, we
didn't
all,
storm his house and like arrest him. It was just kind of like, yeah, he beats her good. That's but you're
Yeah,
right,
you're right.
because it was a well-known thing, and I feel like they were still together, right? It wasn't like something that happened and then they split. They were like, it was an abusive relationship, and they were still performing together.
yeah, the chat room mentioned Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne. Yeah, she's the business side
Yeah.
and the brains, and he is this. I think Ozzy Osbourne for a frontman. I've always enjoyed his voice, like all Black Sabbath, his solo stuff. Like, I've always thought he had a really good voice. Like, I like it when he just sings. Like, he's not bad. I've always liked Ozzy. But he's not the brains of that. If you want to know why he made it, it's probably Sharon, right?
Oh, not even probably.
Super smart.
Yeah.
Great businesswoman. Makes really excellent decisions. Opinionated. She's got that. You have to be able to grab yourself and make decisions. You can't ride the fence. She's opinionated. You got to be opinionated.
Didn't he have an affair or something like that?
Yes, he did.
Like a couple years.
I want to say 5 years ago.
yeah, okay.
I'm trying to get
Wasn't
back.
it his hairdresser?
It was something where
I think it was his hairdresser.
I think so.
Man, I'd bang my hairdresser. Well, I wouldn't bang John the barber, but when I had a hairdresser, I would bang. You know what? I'm gonna take that back. It's 2022. I would bang John the barber.
He'd bang you.
He would bang me. He'd bang me good.
Oh yeah.
He'll
hold us both down.
Yeah. He'd bang us both.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know. He may not be into us, but if he was
He's
into
me.
us,
I know it.
Yeah, you got a haircut yesterday, and I noticed that it lasted a very long time.
So,
this guy left, and then I see whenever we use the business card. By the way, stop using the business card for your haircut. I see it pop through. I saw it pop through 4 hours after his haircut. Y'all might have had a long session, man.
He had a 4-year-long affair with his hair colorist, Ozzy Osbourne.
and
4 years. That's a long time.
but they stayed together, right?
Yeah, they did.
She worked
that
it.
just
She worked
They
proves.
through it.
separated for a little bit. And then
That's
they
called the
came back
Clinton.
together.
When you're going to work through
Yeah.
it, it's called the Clinton. You just go to separate houses for a little while.
Yeah, she's
Act like it didn't happen.
she's a businesswoman, and that's her business, and it didn't really. I imagine to
At
her
some
it's
point he
kinda
just
like,
becomes
whatever.
like a money child to her, right?
Yeah,
Like it's a
he's a-
baby she has to take care of in order to keep her money flowing.
Yeah.
That's a horrible thing to say. I don't mean it like that, but
I think.
But she could also stop today and she'd be perfectly fine.
yeah.
She.
For the
she
rest
does
of her
her own
life.
entertainment stuff, TV shows and producing bands and managing bands.
That's a
Or
good point
she
because
did.
she doesn't need dumb old Ozzy Osbourne
No,
anymore.
not
so
at all.
she could have divorced him this 5 years ago, and the world would have
She
took
never-
her side.
Here's the
Oh,
thing
yeah.
about Sharon Osbourne is I don't think she ever needed Ozzy, right? I mean,
No.
like you look at some
At the
people and you're
beginning.
like, well, no, I'm saying you look at some people and go, that person probably would have been a success, no Ozzy.
Yeah.
Like she would have been successful, maybe not in rock and roll.
But in the entertainment, maybe not as big in the entertainment
Sure.
industry because
I just think she's smart.
the whole reality show springboarded her career, right? Because then people are like, "Oh my God, Sharon Osbourne is running this whole thing," and it probably opened up a lot of business opportunity for her. And then she got into the business entertainment.
Yeah, I remember
But
when like kind of Stern broke that. I remember when he'd bring on Sharon and Ozzy, and it kind of peeled the curtain back a little bit on like this guy you didn't really know much about, and then you're like, oh, he's like a family guy, like
So
weird.
Let's analyze this for a second because she could have easily divorced him, and it would have probably done better for her career. People would have rallied behind her, and
Oh, they did. They did. They were
Yeah.
They
were
did.
crapping all over him.
And then on the opposite end, like a Bill and Hillary Clinton, she made that business decision probably for her own political career, right? Because divorcing Bill Clinton may have not been good for her career. But this is the opposite, like divorcing.
But I think if it happened today, she would. And I think people would be behind her.
You mean Hillary or
Yes, Hillary.
Sharon? Okay.
yeah, maybe
Because
a
at the
different
time,
yeah.
yeah.
But even like 4 years ago with, or 5 years ago with Sharon Osbourne, like that just shows that
I
maybe
think she
does actually
genuinely loves
Yeah,
him.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I
But
think
I
it
think
shows.
he
yeah.
genuinely loves her.
I don't know,
Like-
4-year affair. That's
no, but I mean, but-
I couldn't do it.
I understand that.
God
but,
bless Sharon, I
but-
couldn't do it.
But unfortunately, on this one, I'm gonna have to.
It is a slap in the face.
I'm gonna have to use.
That's more than a slap.
I'm gonna have to call something that I hate calling, but I'm just gonna have to throw this one out there as a guy thing. I don't think you're ever gonna be able to wrap your brain around the fact that you can, I think, f somebody for 4 years, but still love Sharon Osbourne.
4 years is a full-on relationship.
It is.
That's not just effing somebody.
He had it, but you can also love more than one person.
Yeah,
like you can
but-
love this hairdresser and bang her good, and you can love Sharon Osbourne.
But for
Then just be
Ozzy,
polyamorous and call it a day.
yeah, and who knows what
People
their
don't like to do that.
Yeah, and who knows what their relationship is? I mean, you could.
I want to go back and watch the Osbournes.
but
Those were the good old days.
I went back and
Pee-pee
watched a
dog
little bit of it,
crazy.
and it when I watch it now, it's more Addams Family-ish. Like when I watch it, it's way extra gothy, and I don't remember it being so gothy.
Oh, really?
I caught it.
They
gothed it up, but I
yeah.
didn't notice at the time. It's funny when you go back and look at stuff, you'll see how you were manipulated a little bit more.
Yeah. It was before.
I'm not saying the media is manipulating us and everything. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that, you go and you look at this.
BS reality shows.
Yeah, I'm looking at this.
Well,
and
they're
I'm
creating an image.
Yeah, and then the one that I went back to look at, Sam, recently was when Bert McCracken from The Used was dating Kelly Osbourne, and he was on the show.
Yeah.
And he's on the show.
Yeah.
Was that?
I hated that.
And they filmed him. They made him. He was like burping and farting, and they made him look like
gross.
It made him look gross. Which he's not gross, but he's not.
They
gross.
hammed it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Go back and watch it. I want to see what you say.
But for Ozzy Osbourne, like, your wife has been taking care of. I mean, that unless the whole reality show was completely BS, but it looked like basically Sharon was taking care of Ozzy Osbourne and, like, basically magooing him through life, right? And and she was his manager and basically the wife that takes care of everything that your husband needs, which for a bumbling old man, he needs everything, right? So she does all this and he still cheats. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a slap in the face. It's not like if he was completely independent from her and then cheated, I was like, it's worse
I see, because he has a caretaker.
It's worse that she's doing all this for him.
I will agree with you and Sam on that. I will agree with both of you that, yes, that is
like
is way more crude.
Yeah. Because if he was, or if they just had the partnership of, like, he did his own thing, but she obviously was doing everything for him. And is still to cheat on her. That's a slap.
But then it makes me think his IQ's not very high.
That could be true.
I think his brain's fried from drugs.
That could be that too. One of my favorite power couples. They don't necessarily perform together, but I think they're in the same universe. If we're using the Tom Van Venn diagram, Laird Hamilton and Gabriella Reese.
Oh, athletically. Yeah.
They are fun to watch because it is fun to watch two beautiful people do things I can't do. Like, it's fun to watch him and her on a surfboard together, and he's holding her up in the sky, and then he's surfing while holding his wife on and it's not a huge wave, but it's just the amount of strength and power. Plus, they're both beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's just
and
it's just the way things should be. It's like, if anybody's going to stand on a surfboard together, it should be them. It should be no one else. Right? I don't want to see two chunguses out there surfing together.
I kind of
do. Okay, I would watch it, but it's not going to look like this. This is like, man, when I look at that, I'm like, now that's human accomplishment. People are awesome.
And I look at that and I'm like, there is no amount of practice I could ever do
to do that.
No.
To ever, like, to be surfing on a surfboard, holding my wife above my head. It could never happen.
How do you do that?
You could put a gun to my head and be like, if you don't accomplish
this
in
your
10
family's
years,
lives.
Yeah, I'm like, it's never gonna happen.
I'll get out
it's
there
impossible.
and try.
Like, there's no
it's
even
gonna
trying.
be so bad. There's one of my favorite power. I'm trying to think of other ones. One of the we're missing ones that could be in the sports world now.
Yeah, but they're usually different sports. Like, there's a lot of those where you'll see, like,
isn't Dwayne Wade married to
an actress?
Oh
my God, I can't think of her name now.
There's a lot of female soccer players married to
other female soccer players,
or
like
athletes.
NFL
Gabrielle
players.
Union, sorry.
Yeah, you're talking about like Ertz and what's her name, who's on the U.S. women's national team, and then you got two women that are together, Ashley Harris, and I'm blanking on her partner, but they're, I mean, that's a good one because you can play on the same blanking team, dude. That's a good
you're
one.
Both good at the same sport. That's when it's
but
like
on the same team. Like, you're literally
on
on the U.S. women's national team. Like, I mean, like, and that's the highest tier of U.S. sport. So you have to throw them in just because they're at the top tier.
I wonder if we'll ever get to a point where that happens in, like, NFL football, where you have two married men playing on the same team.
That'd be awesome.
You know what I want? I want receiver, quarterback marriage.
Yes. Well,
and I want
Brady and Gronk are almost there.
And they are.
It's,
and I
it's
want
statistically pretty impossible.
But I want it to happen because I want there to be two. I want it to happen twice, and I want one of them to be fiery and argue all the time, and I want the other one to just be consistent and always catch passes and never fail.
What about acting? Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. They also made that movie together.
Yeah.
So they actually made They were starring in the movie together, basically by themselves.
That happens a lot, right? That's like Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie.
Well, they weren't a couple at the time.
Yeah, with the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and then that kind of led to the coupling.
Acting is harder because it's way more subjective, I feel like, with being a good actor. Who's a good actor and who's like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like with singing, I guess you can kind of be like, it's close. Even with all that kind of entertainment, with the sports, it's kind of like more concrete, is like these two people are in the best of their leagues and the best of that particular sport. It's
now,
like quantified.
We're talking about power couple, but the opposite of that is just as unique and just as interesting to me. It's fascinating to me when you have like mega stars. Like, I remember the first one that really ticked the box in my mind was Julia Roberts, where you had somebody who was at the time the most recognizable woman on the planet, and then like her husband is like literally a civilian.
Right.
For lack of a better term.
Oh, yeah.
Like a
normal
person not
Joe.
even in.
Celebrity.
Like, I like that. Like, I like it when it's like Lady Gaga, right? Or like, who's the biggest? Okay, The Weeknd. One of the biggest, if not the biggest pop star right now consistently, right? That guy's just pumping out hits, collaboration crazy. He's everywhere.
He's coming up with a show. I think it's going to be on HBO or something.
Yeah, he's got a radio show on Apple Music. Like, he's all over the place.
Is he a weirdo?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
I think he's like,
really smart, so probably.
Yeah, I think he's hyper smart.
He's just like super smart, eccentric entertainer.
Yeah, like if you found out that like his wife, like, and then you saw her and she was just like, I'm trying to think of somebody that like would be, you'd be like, what? You know, like it was just like, it looked like just any woman who lives in like Montana who just has a normal house.
Yeah. You know,
you'd be like, what?
You know who's kind of like this is who's Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. Like that's always been like Hugh Jackman is married to a lady that you wouldn't expect Hugh Jackman to be married to, right? Not that there's anything. Not that
I don't know that I know his wife, so now I gotta look it up.
Like she's not
just
an
a
actress.
normo.
Or like, she's I think
Civilian.
she's his age, and she's just like a normal
She's his wife,
looking lady. And
what you mean by that? I understand what you mean by that. You mean like looks like us, doesn't look like an actress.
She's actually older than him. He's 53. She's 66.
Okay, yeah.
66. Holy crap! Wow, that's an odd mismatch.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And you know, because normally you'd expect the model, the younger, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay, here's one. Christine weighing in from our Twitch chat room. Twitch.tv.
She is an actress, though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she
Yeah,
is?
Australian actress.
Maybe
yeah.
not like that's unknown, I guess.
Twitch.tv/Tom and Live if you want to watch us live. Christine says Andy Samsberg is married to a professional harpist.
Wow.
That's a weird mismatch.
Yeah,
I like the mismatch. I like it when it's like that. To me is more fun. I think that's more fun. But it's also weird. Like even one of the I've been bringing his name up a lot recently because I bought some stuff for Andrea for Christmas. But Matty Matheson, here's a guy who's like a celebrity chef. He's on every podcast and every show. But like you'd never know he had a wife and kids, and his wife and kids live on a farm, and then I guess he just goes out, and this is a weird.
I kind of like that. Keep your family out of it.
I kind of like that too, but it's a weird concept to me of like
them.
you go out and you earn the money and you do the junkets and you work your ass off, and then I guess you just come back and park it for a couple months with your family. I wouldn't be able to do that. That'd be really hard for me. We were you and I were talking about that this morning.
Yeah, life on the road.
Yeah, I would
like,
cry. I would cry every night if I couldn't see my family.
Yeah. Some people built for it.
Yeah,
You know, like,
I'm not built for it.
But the power couple is fascinating because I can't imagine, you know, like my wife doing the same exact, especially when it's in the same business. It must be weird. And then you could perform together, and that's when it becomes even
I perform
weirder.
with my husband.
I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I guess if
Cross platforms.
if it was your, you know, if that band was your job, I wonder. I mean, that's got to be harder. Well, I
haven't had a band
the
in
podcast.
years.
I know the podcast, but I always think when I think perform, I always think band.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
do
think
too.
podcast. You know, I wouldn't.
I don't look as
I'd be like,
at
this is
this as
performing.
performance.
It
It is,
You're putting
but-
on a show.
I know,
Yeah,
but
we don't think of it like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, it seems pompous to be like, I'm performing.
Yeah.
Look at my performance. It's not
rough.
that good. Not that
I didn't
good.
say it was good.
I
I just
am-
said that's what it was.
I am underprepared for this.
You're
performance.
underperforming.
Yeah. Underperforming, underprepared.
Here's the latest one. I'll leave you with this because we got to take a break. But the latest one that I saw, and it just happened naturally, I saw I still follow Jesse James from West Coast Choppers on
Really?
Instagram.
What's he up to?
I haven't been, it's like once I've set that thing, I don't go back and curate it. I don't know if people do that, but like I never
unfollow.
I never go
I
back
do,
and change
occasionally.
it like based on anything. But so I'm looking at him and he's putting up like different pictures of
Does he still own West Coast Choppers?
Yeah. And but his main thing now he makes custom guns with Jesse James Firearms. He makes like really high end boutique level handmade 9mm pistols and like really nice guns.
Does he like make them from scratch?
From a block of metal.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's crazy. But I'm not saying this guy's a good guy or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But he's talented, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at his Instagram, and then he puts up a picture of this new gun he made, and it's pretty impressive. And then I see underneath the comment, somebody comments, and it's got a blue check, and then it's all hearts. And I'm like, wait a minute. I do this all the time, too. Like, if I'm bored, taking a poop, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I look, and it says, Bonnie Rotten Official. Do you know who Bonnie Rotten
Yes.
is? Bonnie Rotten is the porn star that has the spiderweb tattoos on her tees.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows Bonnie Rotten.
Okay, oh yeah.
She blew up years
Yeah.
ago. Well, now I guess she's out of the porn business. Do you know that Bonnie Rotten, the porn star, former adult entertainer, is now with Jesse James, but she is a competitive shooter. And they're both like Texas, we're open baby gun people.
Really?
Yeah, and they're together.
Interesting.
Very interesting, right? I would have put that on Who's Porkin' because that was like something I found naturally. I don't think people know that Bonnie Rotten, adult star, he has a thing for the adult stars, right? Janine Lindemuller, the Nazi lady with the tattoo.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
But
he likes the spicier gals.
But then with one of the most, like, I guess,
Sandra Bullock, right?
yeah,
That's the
bland actresses. I think they're bland.
Dude, bland super actress, like one of the most recognized.
No, I
She
know.
just had a Netflix movie come
Yeah,
out.
I think she's changing her name to Mrs. Netflix because she is
Yeah.
their gal.
No, a huge actress, A-list celebrity, but I'm saying like you would look at her like a kind of a Jenna Fisher, as if like she plays usually the innocent.
The girl next door.
Girl
average
next
white
door.
girl,
Yeah, right? I mean, spiderweb tees.
Right, right.
That's the opposite
Yeah.
end of the spectrum. But
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he toned it down because remember he went to Michelle Bombshell, who was the woman who used to dress as Nazis and post it, and then people were like, she's
Kat
a white
Von D.
supremacist. Then he went Kat Von D.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
likes a particular look, you can say,
Except
right?
for Sandra.
Except for Sandra. He was with her a long time, too.
Yeah.
Maybe try things different. I was vegan a couple of years.
Um,
I mean, you do that, right? Like my last year of college, I was a vegan.
Kat Von D, the like tattoo reality show.
They're done.
They're done, right?
Yeah, most of the ones that are coming out now.
She just retired from tattooing, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think she just sold her her shop, and I think she's moving to a farm in like mid America.
Yeah, it seems to be the thing that
A few
people
months
want to
ago.
do, right?
She started a family. She's got a kid now.
Oh, I didn't know she had a
Yeah.
kid. Good for her.
And if you're a famous tattoo artist, you could have just people fly in and go to your like studio in your house, and then you tattoo them, and do
You
it.
could
Oh,
do
yeah.
appointment only.
For sure.
Yeah, if you wanted to do it that way, sure.
Yeah. We know this guy that we went to high school with. My wife knows him more because she used to hang out with him when she was with Antonio. Because
you
it was
said that with a lot
Antonio's
of
friend.
You said that with a lot of heat.
Antonio.
But he's a famous
Your
tattoo
wife
artist
hung
now.
out with a lot of guys.
This is high school.
So did my
Right.
wife. My wife had a lot of boyfriends for a virgin, she claimed. I don't know.
I did
No,
too.
no, she didn't have a lot of boyfriends.
Are
Just
you
friends
crazy?
that are guys.
Yes,
No.
she did, but she was a nerd. Like she never did anything
Oh,
with
yeah.
them, which is
Oh,
probably
yeah.
why she had a lot of boyfriends.
Well, they're nerd
they dumped her?
boyfriends.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think, there are 2 or 3 of those in her past that we've talked about where the guy was like, well, if you're not putting out, you're gross.
Well, my wife did
Gross.
something.
She did something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So your wife's at this orgy with these dudes.
And so this guy, and I knew him as Norval back in the day.
Wow, what a
Norval.
name.
That was his name, but now
Norval.
he's Ellie.
Great name.
He's Ellie Mags on.
Oh, yeah.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
And then he just tattooed.
I didn't know this.
Madonna.
I didn't know this. Can we get an interview with?
No, I mean,
With the
I doubt.
dude?
Maybe I don't.
That'd be
Crystal
pretty
can
cool.
reach out, but I mean, he's like a
She
famous New York.
He probably
tattoo artist.
remembers her because your
Yeah,
wife
yeah.
is quite beautiful.
No, for sure he remembers her, but maybe he's too famous to, he's not going to want to do it. I don't know. Maybe he will. I mean, he just, I guess, tattooed Madonna's fingers, or maybe she tattooed.
I'm sorry, why that
his because she.
I just tattooed Madonna's fingers.
And what's interesting is like, how did that connection even happen? Like, she probably saw him on like social media and reached out, something like that.
Madonna. I was listening to Madonna last night. The magnet's pulling hard, dude. Me and my wife sat in bed and pulled up our favorite Madonna albums, and I realized that my favorite Madonna albums, it stalled in the 2000s. It is Confessions on the Dance Floor. That is a good-ass album. Because it's all disco. It's all dance music. It's really good.
What's Madonna worth?
A lot.
Not as much as Beyonce and Jay-Z, but she's done quite well for herself.
Over 500 million?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. Are we guessing?
Sure.
I'm going to say 7.
I'll go
7 million?
700 million.
700 million.
700 million.
I'll go 650.
850.
Wow, we're both wrong.
Yeah, you were closer though.
Unbelievable. But if she wanted to, now follow me with this. If she wanted to go crazy and just start liquidating anything and everything she could and sell nutso to make a massive cash before she dies,
hit $1 billion.
She could go nutty, right? Like I think that
just
Madonna,
selling the rights of her songs,
correct.
right?
I think she could trump
or
anybody.
That's probably
she could probably beat anybody she wants, right? Because like remember Bruce Springsteen did this. Can you look that up, Sam? Bruce Springsteen did this 2 weeks ago or last week. He sold his whole catalog.
Oh, yeah.
To who?
To anybody who bought it, I guess, $500 million.
And he just cashed out?
Yeah, he just cashed out. And
Does he still perform?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then but when I saw that, I was like, that's rad. I thought that was cool.
Sony Music Entertainment bought it for $550 million.
I'd be okay with just the 50 mil, right?
Well, you might. I mean, how old is Bruce Springsteen? He's in his 60s, right? He's like, you're looking at the end, you're like, might as well enjoy the money, right? I can't enjoy the songs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
with the money, I can do
songs.
anything. Yeah,
72.
72, yeah.
I will say it because I've been really
got
harsh.
10 more good years.
I've been real
Bruce.
hard on that guy because
Jeez.
I hate his Christmas songs with all my heart, right? And
I'm not a fan.
And it makes me so angry whenever he does Santa Claus is Coming to Town and he says, hey, Clarence, that whole like, you better watch out, you better not cry. That's not, it's horrible. It's horrible.
I have never liked Bruce Springsteen.
Santa Claus. It's like you're not singing, you're screaming at me. What are you doing? Go back to work. Don't you work at a factory? Go to the factory and start canning.
He's got the same type of voice of the Mighty Mighty Bosstones dude, right?
Yeah, he's Dickie Barrett for the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. But he looks good, I think, for his age. Like, really good. Like, when you look at him, he's got his jean jacket on with a hoodie underneath. His hair's combed nice. You know what I mean? Like, you look at him, you're like, he does not look his age.
Yeah.
And I think he's had some hard living, right?
Yeah, but with money... I just heard. I was watching TikTok yesterday, and I heard Rob Dyrdek on he's in my feed on some podcast, and he was talking about what he does. Like, he has hired a doctor who comes to his house 5 days a week and does like stem cell and like all this stuff.
Dyrdek does this?
Yeah. And he's trying to live. He said on the podcast past 110 or whatever, and he thinks he can if he puts enough money into all this stuff, like this treatments and stuff. He maybe. I mean, because
no, I can look at him and tell. No, he looks too white trash to ever pull that off. He'd have to have a different body style. He's got the quintessential.
Yeah, I think you could use science and money to push past that with stem cells and all that stuff.
I can look at Rob and see how white trash he should be.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, that Rob Dyrdek has a look like most of my relatives.
He's genetic white trash.
Yeah, he's genetic white trash. And
Midwestern white trash.
You can't fight it,
What
dude.
is he, from Ohio or something?
But you just can't fight it. You look at him and he looks like he should be scratching a lottery ticket. Like, that's what he looks like.
Yeah. But I think he's using the money to push past that.
You can't change that, though, dude. You'd have to have complete facial reconstruction.
Well, I'm just saying internally with...
No, it's all connected, dude. Face is connected to internal.
But I think lots of those ultra-rich guys...
It's the mouth, usually, right? They got a little bit of a methy mouth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is so horrible.
His wife is beautiful.
I should not say that. She's a playboy.
Yeah.
She's a playboy.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. She's his whole family is absolutely top tier gorgeous.
What bothers me because I follow him on Instagram and stuff. every event, like every birthday or Christmas or Valentine's Day.
There's inflatable balloons letters.
Well, he hires
Can we stop with the inflatable balloon letters for everything, please?
He hires a balloon artist and stuff. And I know this is all, I mean, he's ultra rich. It doesn't matter. Limited money, right?
So like a character artist out there.
So inside the I guess, what do you call like the entrance of your mansion where there's stairs and like the
foyer?
Foyer. Yeah, inside the foyer of his mansion where
More
like
the
the chandelier is and his stairs. He always does like an elaborate balloon presentation. Like you could tell
it's like an archway of balloons. And it's like, well, what happened? Oh, she got her first report card. It's like, oh my God.
Some company comes in and sets this huge display up. This, I'm not joking. It probably cost $10,000, right?
It's gotta be. Just to get the people on your property is $1,000.
And if you say that sounds too much, I'm telling you, we knew when Orlando City
We've bought these things before with company credit cards from Orlando City. I know what it costs.
Orlando City, when they did their MLS announcement, and we had some inside information about like what just the balloons.
Say the number.
The balloons. I don't remember the exact number.
I know what it was. I know the exact number for the balloon drop. It was $7,500 to make balloons come from the sky.
Well, but what about all the balloons in the archway? I thought it was
I thought she
15.
spent. No, the total was 15. You do have a good memory.
Okay.
But the balloon drop itself, just balloons from the ceiling, was $7,500. Everything else was $1,500 total.
No, 15,000.
15,000. Yeah. I mean, 15,000 total was archways around the stage. Because remember, it was us. And we didn't even know Rick Scott was going to be there
to come in and do the balloons.
Yes.
15,000.
That was balloons only.
So I'm telling you,
15,000. That was Teresa, our boss, who now works in Nashville.
And there's just a little something gross about just having that much ridiculous.
Just for them to pop later
or just
at the end they pop them all, throw them away.
Just for a picture on Instagram to be like, hey, it's my son's second birthday. Look at, elaborate. It's like. I think that screws you up, right? Like if you're one of Rob Dyrdek's kids. Now, I'm sure it's up to parenting to make that, but it's like you live that life where everything's a balloon extravaganza. It's got to be weird, right? How do you become
think your kids aren't impressed with anything?
Yeah. Oh my God!
You know what I mean?
I know for a fact if I got my daughter one inflatable balloon letter, she'd freak the F out. I know that. So I'm a good dad.
Everything becomes like not exciting, right?
You're right.
When everything's the most exciting.
I agree with you. But he's not doing it for them. He's doing it for the gram, right?
Got to do it for the gram,
because that's part of
that's
what
part
people
of his
want.
life.
And it's his image.
And it is part of his reality. That's why I'm not being too hard on it. I mean, that's
you're right.
That's what he's doing. But I understand what you're saying.
It's a weird thing.
I understand and I agree with what you're saying because I feel like I know I would be like that. Like I know that would diminish, like, oh, here's Dad with another balloon. Oh, great. Okay, great.
Well, when every event is a balloon extravaganza in your foyer of your mansion and every, you just have the best of everything. I saw, because on Instagram you posted your life, right? So he's posting his Christmas and his kids are riding around those those stuffed animals on wheels that are at the mall that you rent.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Like his girl is riding that. She get, you get $10,000 worth of gifts and the best of everything. It's got to screw you up, right?
Okay, you know what I like? I like the ones where they level themselves out. For instance, Conor McGregor over Christmas, he was gramming what he bought his daughter. And he or maybe it was on TikTok, but he put up a video in a photo of his daughter, and she was just in the standard $160 pink Disney Princess Power Wheels, nothing crazy, just the regular stuff.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, and I got to tell you, as just Dan, normal guy, I was like, that's cool.
Yeah,
he's just like me. Like there was a part of me that
didn't try to do.
He didn't. No, he was like, "This is my princess. Your chariot has arrived." He said, or something like that. And she's just in the standard that you could go to Walmart
Fisher
right
Price,
now and buy
pink
it.
Barbie. Corvette.
It is a Fisher Price Power Wheels. You can go. No, it was the carriage, but you could go and buy it right now at Walmart. Anybody can. Yeah. Anybody can if you got $160.
Yeah, $100. Yeah.
And I looked at it and I was like,
He could
All
have.
right.
He could have gotten
Custom made.
like a literal mini car, right? With
Well,
everything.
doesn't he have the Lamborghini boat that's custom that he brags about all the time? But no, for his daughter,
keeps the good stuff for him.
well, I mean, isn't that the way it should be? His daughter's not a fighter, and she doesn't know the difference.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
$160, he's making a good decision.
Yeah, getting an $8,000
Yeah.
it's a
He's
waste.
making an excellent decision because his kid will get just as much enjoyment,
Yeah.
maybe even more, because it's not so custom.
This thing's pretty cool. It's a horse and carriage.
It's pretty neat, right? Yeah, it's neat. But I think it's like $170 at Walmart. And when I saw the thing, I was like, not what I expected. And she's so happy. She's like, this is great. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And he's just out there in his sweatpants watching her ride around the mansion.
He does come from humble beginnings, but I guess so does Deerdick, right? I mean, they all. He grew up Midwest.
But that can go one or two ways, right? I think if you can grow up ultra poor and gain so much info on like what it means, and then pass that along as a teaching moment. Or you can go the opposite, where you feel so guilty and bad that you were raised poor that you're like, that's never going to happen to my kids. So I'm going to give them everything, and I'm literally going to spoil them to death.
That's how a lot of people feel, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know which is right. I mean, I tend to lean more on the grit side of things. We all do, I think, for the most part. But I don't know.
Well, you'd like to teach your kids the value of $1, right?
I also hate not giving.
And that not everybody lives this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hard lesson because what reference do they have?
Exactly.
Like, you go, I don't know,
you got to
show
have
them?
volunteer places and
Yeah.
show them the other
Yeah.
side of life.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like, that's awkward to do. I'm telling you how I feel.
Sam and I are kind of like in that part of the conversation.
Is that
how he feels in his core.
Like we're
I
gonna
go to the
break or
soup kitchen.
something.
I'm like, I park, and I'm like, come on, boys. And they're like, they do it because I swear they're not. They wouldn't be like, no, they just do it.
They don't complain.
But me,
Dude,
I'd be
your
like,
your
I'm
boys are
sitting
not.
there.
They're not complainers.
And then they're like, stand over there, I'm like stand behind the soup, and then I'm like, oh, these people stink.
I mean, you've seen
Oh
it,
my
but I've
God.
never seen your sons complain.
I'm just saying how I think.
I know.
I think Maisie would do it, but then later, because she's real judgy like her mom, like people don't know that secretly Andrea's just like a bitch. And Maisie would do it, and then later she'd pull me aside and be like,
Today was gross.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
This is yuck. Today was yuck.
All right, bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. If you want to check out the show's video content, head over to YouTube. Just search Tom and Dan Live. I'd love it if you would subscribe and smash that silly little alert button to let you know when we update the page. But I try to put up all of our daily recordings. I do like a daily video. It's kind of warts and all of everything that we've done. So sometimes you're even going to get segments that will air later. You'll get them first if you go to the YouTube page. And just search Tom and Dan Live, subscribe. There's great stuff on there. We take a lot of time and effort to make it look pretty. I color correct it. I adjust the sound so it's where it should be. I think you'll dig it.
We also have some new merch on TomandDan.com, on the app, some villain collaboration merch. We got a BDM all mesh hat. We got like a DOP kit bag, a Tom and Dan zipper.
I gotta get one of those.
Mine got stolen. I
don't
one.
even got one.
Well, I got girls in the house, right? There's some girls in this house. And they take all my stuff. If I have anything that looks like a girl would like it, and girls love little bags.
Yeah.
And Maisie Dennis snatched it up. It is hers now for her pencils. It's a pencil case for school.
What's up with the belt? I have a lot of complaints about it.
The belt is
Joey
fine.
loved it.
The
Joey
belt
was
is
saying-
fine.
Joey loved it,
You
yeah.
gotta know how. Here's my complaint. I'll be honest about the belt. I don't like the super bright chrome. Okay, that's fine. But if you take that second strip from the belt and tuck it behind it, there is a way to do it that's correct. I've done my belt. You just got to know how to do
so
it.
it doesn't get loose.
Correct. Yeah, there is a way to do it, but we'll go back to the drawing board. Thankfully, we didn't order 10,000 belts, so we'll go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do for you. Look, if you have a
These
honest complaint,
They're
and you're
one-off custom stuff too.
Yeah.
That we're trying let's do 100 belts. And I mean, once they're sold out, we may never do them again. But we're just trying to
we're
do
just
some new stuff.
throwing some stuff at the wall. And if you have a complaint and it's constructive and not just a blanket F you, this belt sucks, email me, Dan@TomandDan.com. We'll work something out.
Yeah.
Let's get some pajama pants.
That's a great
Some
idea.
joggers
This
or
year,
something.
I'm working with Villain.
Are we going to do a button fly or are we going to keep them no fly? I like a no fly.
No fly.
Yeah,
Don't
no
bother
fly.
me.
I like no fly. I don't like a fly. And there's after what happened yesterday with my daughter and me doing stretches on the floor in my boxers and her seeing things, I just can't do. I gotta have everything in, nothing out.
Also, lounge shorts.
Yes. Yeah.
I want sweat shorts for fat people.
It's basically the same thing.
That's
yeah.
what I wear. I wear sweat shorts. I've made a lot of mean comments about fat people wearing sweat shorts, and I apologize.
They're so comfortable.
I will apologize to everybody beefy that I said, you fat people wearing your sweat shorts, you're animals. You know, you were right the whole time.
Yeah.
I owe you a massive apology. In fact, I own now 4 pairs of sweat shorts that I purchased over Christmas because I love them so much. They're so good. And no matter how much you eat, they stretch with you.
Yes.
And then if you sweat because you ate too much, it absorbs the sweat. It's brilliant, dude.
Yeah. But
I was so wrong.
You're wrong about how comfortable they were, but not wrong about the sign of giving.
I
up.
wasn't talking about that, though.
Yeah.
You want to do a voicemail?
Yes.
All right, let's try. All right, this one's kind of cool because it's multiple people on the line, and they have a question. Final one.
Hey guys, it's Zach from Ohio. Jason Glassford is here at my house. You flew up from Florida, right?
Hey.
All right, say Salvatore.
I'm here.
All right, Andrea.
Heyo.
All right, everybody, we're very happy to know you and everything. That's super fucking great. You guys are not doing another cruise, right? The cruise is no more, I'm assuming.
No.
All right, goodbye. I love you guys.
Where's the whisper cricket?
That was a drunken
there was
voicemail.
There was a BDM Ohio meetup going on
Man.
over New Year's, and a bunch of the BDMs were partying together.
Well,
Wow.
shout out to Ohio. We're not just popular in Florida. Love you guys. Hope you had a fun time.
Met most of them on our cruises.
Yeah, they go. They like to party. So
There's a Ohio contingent that comes down.
Ohio goes
They used
hard,
to come
dude.
down
Yeah.
for every cruise.
COVID
They're coming
killed
down
that.
for the Semantics 5-year.
Yeah, they're coming down.
At least the
down.
Sparacos. I don't know about Zach and Andrea, but
Probably get them down here if we pressure them enough. You know? And make
yeah,
'em
get
feel-
down here.
yeah.
No cruise.
Come on down here.
We don't know. That's
We
the
don't
truth of
know.
it.
Yeah, I like being truthful to you guys, and I played
We-
this because we honestly
Undecided.
we have no idea.
We'll do it if it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll do it if we want to, and it all like lays out to be a great experience for everybody. You know, but I don't know. At this point in time, everything is such a mess,
Yeah.
and like
This is
I
all
mean,
new stuff.
Well, believe me, we're still. I mean, Tony does all the cruise stuff for us, Ahoy Cruises, and he's still booking cruises right now. But I believe the prices are. They're not doing the group discounts that we used to work with them
It's
to do.
messier now, yeah.
And like things are getting postponed. Obviously, there's Corona everywhere, so that's hindering. So maybe we do it. I just don't know currently. And if we did,
It won't
decide,
be this year.
It
I'm
would
sure,
be
because we usually go a year out when we start
Now, what
planning
about
it.
Sun Cruise casino boats?
We have talked about that in the BDM group.
I talked to Sun Cruise, and
Oh my God, you know him?
You know Mr. Cruz?
You know
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
You know Tom Cruise?
He
no
is Tom
Sun
Cruise.
Cruise.
Oh, John Cruise.
Yeah. And they wanted to do like a BDM meetup.
Yes,
and,
I'm
you know,
listening.
yeah.
Yes.
And then it was hard for me to get excited about all
Okay.
these things.
I like that's an honest answer.
Because I like gambling, and I've been on Sun Cruise boats, but
Would you eat
it's
a bad,
so stupid
you
that
ate
you
a
have
bad
to
shrimp?
like no, it's fine. They're fine, and you can gamble.
Perfectly fine.
They're perfectly fine.
Mosquito necks.
It's just the pain in the ass of having to drive out 2 miles and then sit out there.
Yeah, but that's what
and
that's what you have to do. Like
Yeah.
everything
I'm
to you
mad
is a
at
pain
that.
in the ass.
Yeah.
We could go to Tampa.
Well,
to the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
What's in Tampa?
Yeah, Hard Rock's
Right.
Hard Rock's got table games. now,
Anytime
and then-
anybody mentions Tampa, I just think of the people, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
So
Tampa Bays.
I guess if you're going to drive to the coast, you just drive to a building instead of having to be stuck on a boat.
Well, the boat's half the fun. Maybe we can convince the captain to buzz the shore and
Oh.
take it over here, Joey. I don't know.
Yeah. It's fine.
Couldn't we, if
I
we
just-
partnered with Sun Cruise, couldn't we pick where we wanted to go? Take us to the Bahamas on a Sun Cruise boat.
I think they just, they do
Right?
the standard. They go out and
No,
then
I
come
want.
back.
What if we talk to them and says, "Well, you've never done this before. We're going to flip your model.
Uh-huh.
We're taking this thing to the Bahamas."
Well, you can. I mean, the whole point is just to go 2 miles to gamble.
Pack a bag. We're changing the rules, man.
Well, that's just.
We're changing the rules.
They have like a ferry boat that would just you get on and take you over to the Bahamas.
No, I want to know. I want to gamble the whole time I'm going to the Bahamas.
Okay, all
How
right.
fun would that be? And you get off, you're in the Bahamas.
I'm surprised they didn't integrate gambling into the ferry boat, right?
I am right now. It's my idea.
And they got casinos in the Bahamas.
Actually, you're kind of right. I would sit at a card table and play poker on my way to the Bahamas. That'd be awesome if you could play on a poker on a speedboat.
Yeah.
You're playing poker. That'd be awesome.
I guess it's the atmosphere of a casino that the people want, because you could go on any app and play roulette and all the table games and stuff. Like you could play on your computer at home
With real money?
with real money
Oh, wow.
on any offshore sports book account. Like there's tons of them out there. They all have table games. It's the same chances you win than in the casino, but
3 miles out is how far we go.
it's 3 miles to get the thing. All right. It feels like no one's checking. Like they go a mile and a half, right? Like they go shorter every time. Like no one's
Measuring.
Yeah.
right. Or is there some sort of GPS on the boat that is monitored?
Just put it on a track.
By who, though?
I mean, you don't even need a captain. Put it on a
Gambling?
track, right?
I mean
Like
Is
Disney.
the Coast Guard watching them?
The Gaming Commission of Florida. I don't know.
You put it on a track and you don't even run a captain on it. You do like Disney.
Jungle Cruise?
Yeah, just have it drag the boat out 3 miles. You gamble, we'll drag you back out.
I've been too lazy to look why, but there was like a month's time where the Hard Rock Casino opened up their app for sports gambling.
Yeah, you called it your favorite year. Like you were
That was a month.
or that month. Like
yeah,
you were all in.
last.
And then we all could do it, and everybody on the gambling page, we're all doing it, and it was cool having another book, and then because the lines are a little bit different. And then it got shut down again, and I don't know why. I think a lawsuit or whatever, but it's got to be coming back, right? It's not gone forever.
No, they're
working on it.
They were a little
Yeah.
premature, and because I get text every day about like you can save DraftKings, you can fix the casinos.
But is it yeah, to me it seemed like the because DraftKings and
Does
FanDuel,
anybody own the URL Giraffe Kings?
I'm sure. they
I'm
do.
glad you heard that too.
No, I've heard it every time he says DraftKings. I hear Giraffe Kings, and I wanted to buy it and redirect Giraffe Kings to DraftKings, and then email them and say you're welcome.
But I think the
It does reroute to DraftKings. I swear to God.
so
Giraffe Kings reroutes to DraftKings.
What are the odds that DraftKings would have my idea? Pretty high.
Pretty high.
Well, they're
Pretty
probably
high.
Smart people working over there.
a bunch
Yeah.
of dodos like me can't pronounce DraftKings, and then it sounds
God,
like
you said it
I know. And then they're like, we should buy that too. We have
You know what?
unlimited money.
While you're at it, buy Giraffe Kings.
But I think the tribes were trying to keep the FanDuel and those businesses out of Florida, and they were trying to have complete control of all the app
that makes
gambling.
sense. Yeah.
Because as of right now,
If I were in the tribe, I'd do the same thing.
yes, well, yeah, of course, you want the monopoly. You don't want a bunch of competition, right?
The chat is saying on this week's OG show from 2017, we were talking about the Tom and Dan DraftKings website, and Tom said Giraffe Kings, and we goofed on him then.
Oh my God!
This is insane.
The magnet's been pulling so hard this month, man.
Is it
we
all
gotta
just the
stop.
same?
No,
We're in a simulation.
No,
I'm telling
the
you.
it's all just the same.
No,
It's recycled.
Somebody's screwing with us because the magnet this week, the magnet with you and I with different little things and little things lining up that we can't even talk about behind the scenes, and I'm just like, what is happening?
You heard
dude?
about this one?
Yes.
It's all cyclical.
It's just because we only have the same amount of things we talk about, right? Where
We
No,
12
I have a bunch
things.
of new stuff that you won't let me talk about.
Oh.
and then it's likely that 4 years ago we were talking about the same thing in the middle of a 3-hour show.
Every 4
right?
years, we talk about casino boats.
I guess yeah. Well, I mean,
Well,
it gets brought up.
gambling is one of the 12 things we cover.
How fast would a casino boat go? Let's
They-
do a casino boat race. One group of BDMs gambling on one boat, one group of BDMs gambling on the other. The two captains are driving it. We're lined up and go. And it's a race and gambling.
I think they're pretty slow. They're like old converted
Houseboat, right?
Well,
It's like an old houseboat. Didn't you get married on a
Yes,
houseboat?
well, not a houseboat. It was a yacht. Thank you. And
But it wasn't like one of
it
those.
was a party yacht.
It wasn't like one of those like below deck boats. Yours
No.
had like
Yeah, it has like a buffet area.
yeah, they had
it's-
like a Japanese cover band on it, right?
It's a yacht converted into where they took everything cool out of it and just put like floors. So they
You know
put
what?
dining
Dance
room.
floor. It's a dance floor. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I liked about Tom's boat is that it had the tinted windows, and that's how you know it's rich. You know, like people that have boats, they have
Yeah, yeah.
it's all glass, but it's all
black,
black.
yeah, black
It
out.
looks like Michael Vick's visor. You know, you're looking like old Michael Vick, Falcons 2003 or what. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And whenever I see that, the stereotype is I'm like they're rich. That's my stereotype.
You think there'd be one boat? They're like, take the tent off. Oh, I want the light.
I want it's so bright. Oh God! Oh God!
Give me a hat.
So
You want to do another voicemail,
Yes,
buddy?
I do.
Let's stick with more from Zach
Okay.
because he's crazy and he calls all the time. So what I've done is I eliminate the ones that I can't use. Sorry about that one.
That's fine.
I didn't go to the end, so he cursed. But this one is just bizarre, and this just
Oh,
keeps.
they were drinking all night together.
Well, this one just keeps our crown of we have the craziest voicemail stories.
Hey gang, it's Zach from Ohio. In my early 20s, I did drugs and hung out with other people who did drugs. One of those people was a girl, I won't say her name, but she had a cat named Mr. Scary. One night, I was not there. She had a bunch of people over. They all did a bunch of acid and stuff. And they drank and they blacked out or whatever. And she woke up in the morning to her smoke alarm going off. And so she ran out into the kitchen and saw that it was coming from her oven. She turned the oven off, opened the oven, and it was her cat. Mr. Scary dead in the oven, smoking. And the police had arrested a man a couple miles away who was at her party. He was convicted of animal abuse for putting this cat in the oven and killing it, and he's in prison.
Oh my God, that's straight out
There
of.
you go.
So horrible.
Happy Thursday.
What was that? A
everybody.
Scream where they put the dog in the microwave? That is terrible.
Oh my God.
I couldn't fit
I
a
have
dog.
nightmares
Dogs are
now.
too big to go in the microwave. Fake news.
Also, you didn't hear the cat screaming?
And
I don't know if it would scream, right? If he probably already got killed, and then he put it in the
Oh,
oven.
maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
okay, I thought
yeah.
alive. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
I mean-
think you. I don't know. Well, I don't even.
how long do you go to prison for that? Not that long, right?
Probably not for an animal.
Yeah, animal abuse.
know.
What is that? I mean,
Depends on the state.
Get Busdecker on the line? Ask him what's a going sentence for putting a cat in the
There's
oven.
some dog burglaring going on that he was following. Did you guys watch that?
No,
What do you mean
what's
dog
happening?
burglar?
People are stealing. Like, remember how they stole Lady Gaga's French bulldogs? They're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
it around Orlando now. They're
Stealing
snatching
dogs?
dogs left and right.
My dogs are too ugly. Well, one of them, Maggie's too ugly to be stolen, and Caesar's too old.
R.I.P. Mr. Scary.
so they steal
Yeah,
them
it's
to
sad.
like for resale,
Yeah,
right? And because they're like purebred.
It's also
like,
very hard to find dogs right now. So there you go.
Yeah.
when you buy a stolen dog, you gotta feel guilty about that, right? Like this was someone else.
I don't know that they tell people that it's a stolen dog.
But you know, right? I think I would know.
Probably.
I think I would know.
What? Well, I mean, because you steal the dog. It's old enough,
What if it's
obviously, to be named.
microchipped?
Yeah,
You-
you would think it would be microchipped.
If
right?
it's-
They'll cut them out.
oh,
Yeah.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
do
dude.
that. Leave it
It's
in.
rough
Now,
out
look,
there.
if you stole a dog, I'm speaking to you right now. If you have stolen a dog right now, and you're gonna resell it, just don't cut the chip out. Leave the chip in.
well,
Also,
no,
I
that's
hope
how you get caught.
Don't hurt the dog.
I hope if this guy is out of prison that they're monitoring him because that's a serial
He has a
killer.
chip in him. No.
I hope so.
In his left ear.
Ankle
I'm
bracelet
gonna
or
cut it out.
something.
I'm gonna cut it out.
They're not monitoring.
No,
him.
they're
he
not. They got
leaves
bigger
and-
fish to
Yeah,
fry.
he's gone.
And they're like, oh, you know.
Yeah, pay your fine. Good day. It
He's
could
gonna-
be. It
Yeah.
could have been like you pay a fine.
Yeah, and then they know they didn't rehabilitate him,
Ugh.
and he's still the monster he was
Yeah,
before.
He was before.
yeah,
Yeah, he'll never change.
yeah, no.
Stealing dogs. I can't even imagine doing that. I'd be the worst dog stealer because I'd steal the dogs
They'd start crying.
and I'd never give them up. I'd be like, they're mine now.
And
And
you
I
just have a bunch of dogs.
yeah, I just have a ton of dogs, and people be like, well, we know you stole the dogs because you have 50 dogs. And I'm like, that's true.
Let's do a voicemail.
All right, let's go with this one is going to blow your mind.
This is Adam from Texas. I'm way behind and I'm trying to catch up. You guys are talking about patties or links and which you prefer. I'm going to blow your mind real quick. You all prefer links regardless of what you think you like because patties are just slices of larger links. I'll listen.
No.
I mean,
No.
Well, it doesn't
that's
matter what they're
semantics.
made of.
Hey,
We're talking about the
everybody,
shape.
Seinfeld called the show. Great job.
Yeah, and we're not even really talking about the taste. We know that they're the same ingredients, right?
No,
We're
he
like-
means like you can get the big casing of sausage and you cut it into
no,
patties.
but he's right.
He's
It's like
right,
a
but
tube of
technically-
sausage is sort of
Yes.
like, but it's not. I don't think that to correct
That's
him.
not a link.
Well, to correct him, I do not believe, and Juan is
It's a
in
log.
our chat room. I do not believe that tube of sausage that you buy, your Jimmy Dean tube, I do not believe that it has a casing on the
right.
outside. So no casing, no link. So sir, busted. You're wrong.
Boom.
You're wrong.
Busted.
and the,
Sausage busted.
the shape of the food makes a difference because, like, imagine consuming hot dogs in burger form. Right? It'd be gross.
People do it though. They cut them down the side and then they lay them flat on like a sandwich.
No, I know, but
You're right.
you
Bologna is
Yeah.
like fried bologna is hot dog, right?
Yes, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess they do consume.
But
hot
if it
dog
were
as-
thick, you're kind of right. If it
Yeah.
were like as thick as a hamburger patty, and I know people do this at like Southern restaurants, those restaurants that people love, where it's like, it's weird, man. You get a PBR and a fried bologna sandwich. It's like, yeah, they're selling you cheap stuff, and you're hipster eating it up.
yeah.
You're just devouring it.
You're eating $1.80 worth of stuff
Not
for
even.
$18.
Yeah. But they'll do that. They'll do like 2 inches of bologna
I do
and
not
fry.
want that.
Nah, I don't either. Not my thing.
Imagine eating bologna in ball form, like
Like an apple.
Like a meatball?
Like a
Like an
meatball.
apple.
Here's your bologna, and then it's just a bunch of
I'm
balls.
gonna throw up.
What if you're gonna eat it?
It's the same thing, though.
What if
I
it was
know.
what if bologna looked like an apple and in the center of it was a cheese core?
Gross.
I cannot.
horrifying.
Well, we do have the hot dogs with the cheese in the middle.
Horrifying.
That's gross
Ugh.
too, though.
I don't like it in the middle. I like it when they space it, like
Oh, the
little,
chunks.
Yeah, little
Yeah.
chunks of cheese throughout the sausage. I can
don't
deal
like
with that.
those.
I can deal with it. You want another voicemail?
Yeah.
All right. The patties are links guy. I'm still a patty sausage man. I love patty sausage. We did cat murder. All right. Hold on. How about beach pour?
All right.
Let's go there. Here we are.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam. BDM Captain Dano here. Calling about Tom saying you can't be poor and grow up on the beach, which is 100% true now. I was born in New Smyrna Beach in 1986. Grew
Good
up
year.
1 block from the beach in a 2-1 flat roof house. My single mother bought that house for like $70,000. I think it's worth like $400,000 nowadays. But grew up coming home from school, going to the inlet like a mile down the beach, walking there at the age of like 12 years old while my mother was still at work. And just living the beach rat life. Have a good one.
Somber beach man.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad that as time progresses, it's going to get more and more like that, right? I mean, the sought-after places to live by the ocean that are beautiful are going to be taken by the rich.
Well, even the not sought after. Like low-income neighborhoods are turning into like these hipster trendy places, and
Yeah.
they're putting up condos that people can't afford.
Yeah. And
I mean, we're seeing that even.
it was what America
It's
has always
capitalism,
done,
baby.
right?
Well,
yeah.
even
So you push, you're like,
non-coastal-
yeah, how about you guys go over here near the dump?
We'll keep hiding you. We'll keep pushing you further.
Well, I mean, it's happening right now within Orlando's city limits, or Maitland rather, where we're watching our beloved Little 500 go-kart track.
Yeah.
It's gone. And everybody's so upset about it. And then
But nobody was going.
Yeah,
That's why
Sam
it
and
shut
Tom
down.
brought up a good point. There was the last time you MFs even rode the go-karts. You're all mad about it, but you haven't been
You got to
down there.
support these small businesses if you want them to stay
But
open.
I don't think they're selling because like nobody's going. I think they're selling because they were holding on to the land for a very long time, and now's
Yeah.
times to get rich.
Yeah.
Could be.
And I'm sure they got the right offer because as Winter Park moves up 1792, I'm surprised. Like, what were they turning OLE into? I heard
It's
something.
a church
It's
now,
a
isn't
mega
it?
church now,
Yeah,
but it was a performance place where you could. But yeah, there's another thing.
But they have to eventually sell that to some developer or something that's going to put just townhouses or something. Right? It's a huge property that is close to Winter Park on 1792, and as things get built up, and look what they did like with Ravadage on Lee Road, and everything is just like moving towards Cimarron and stuff, like those those small used car dealerships and things like that, like they'll eventually just be bought up by commercial land buyers that want to turn it into whatever.
Shopping plazas.
So you just sit on it until the value gets to where you want to be, and I'm sure your
What
lawyers
a pain
or
in the
whatever-
ass of upkeeping those damn go-karts and just keep
Yeah, but
them running until the price gets right.
But it's a brilliant way to write off a bunch of stuff, right?
True.
Because you have that land, you have to pay property tax.
Didn't Jimmy, our friend Jim Colbert, didn't he headbutt somebody at the? Or you got an argument?
That was that Fun Spot. With this
No,
kid.
I think it was Little 500, dude.
No, Fun Spot. I
Was it
remember,
Fun
yeah.
Spot?
It
Oh
was,
my God.
It was because someone was ramming his son in a go-kart or whatever, and he got all mad. It was like some 17-year-old
I can see you
teenage
doing
boy.
this. I can see you doing this because somebody's
What?
bullying Tommy with a go-kart. You just walk over and headbutt him.
Well, he started getting so mad he started crying, and then did he headbutt him in the face? I don't think he
no.
did.
I think he
He
wanted
wa- yeah.
to headbutt him, but he did start crying.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
he was like a 17.
He's overcome with emotion.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
get me real, you get me to the breaking point, I'll
Yeah,
start crying.
I've cried when I'm mad before.
Man, Tommy told me about some kid that did that move where they
You thumps him?
No, like he ran something down his back,
Credit card swipe.
like a credit card swipe.
Did
but
he go all the way down?
Yeah,
or-
No,
if
no.
it goes through the booty, you're gay.
It was that's what I
That's
told
what
him
the
in the
kids
morning.
say. That's what the kids say.
And then I tell Tommy, I'm like, because he tells me nonchalantly, like they did this, and then I'm like, well, what'd you do?
Credit card booty dinger.
And he just said, he's like, I said, ow. And then I'm like, next time that happens, you tell that kid, if you do that again, I'm going to punch you as hard as I can. And my dad taught me how to punch. And then he's
Have
like,
you taught him how to punch?
I try, I don't want to listen. And then he's like, I'm not going to do that. And then get out of the car.
You're
and I'm
an
like, I
idiot.
know you won't.
I'm not.
Why do
Wait
I
a
waste
minute.
my voice?
He told you I'm not going to do that and then walked
Wow.
away.
He's politely defiant.
But I know he
What a
wasn't going to do
lovely-
that.
I love that
just,
kid, man.
I just wanted to put that
He's
out there. But I
fun.
know he ain't going to do
No.
it.
You know,
he's not.
he's got such a good memory.
I wouldn't do it.
We were teaming up.
So,
When we were doing the fireworks, we were like teaming up, and I'm like, "Who's on team fireworks?" Yeah, we're doing that. And Tommy and I, when we did the nature walk, we were talking about. We were the only two people I think that like pickles. And he leans over to. Did you hear him say? He leans over to him and he goes, "Yeah, team pickles." He's still on my team.
yeah.
Love that kid. He's a good kid.
He's
Don't try to
well
change.
behaved.
Why are you
I know.
trying to change him?
I'm worried that
He's gonna be taken advantage of because he's
Yeah.
sweet, and you guys gotta let him. You just
I'm
gotta
just
sit there and watch it.
Worried that
Put him
I
in
don't-
karate. Maybe it'll
I-
build his.
I'm trying.
That's not a bad
I
idea.
know. I try. I don't think he wants the confrontation. He's like his old man. He's just rather just ignore
You don't
it
need
or
the
whatever.
confrontation, but you got to be able to stick up for yourself.
Well, you
I
were
know.
fine. You hit
I
breaking
know.
points where you'll stick up for yourself, and maybe he just hasn't hit his breaking point yet, and that's for
You
him to
should teach
decide,
him how to
right?
punch, though.
But that's for him to
I'll
decide.
try to avoid sticking up for
But
myself.
think about that.
Yeah.
Like if they just ran their thumb butt down his back and said credit card nerd or whatever, if he's like that's nothing, then
That's
he's
what
a
he said.
confident boy.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It bothered him though because he told Daddy about it.
No, well, I started like.
Did anybody
prying
bully you
in his
today?
information.
Did anybody bully you today? Because I'm in a badass mood. That little guy I'm with, he's chirp crazy, especially now that he's positive all the time.
I've been watching Yellowstone.
Oh, that's what it is.
Dude, this Yellowstone thing, it's an epidemic. All my friends are wearing cowboy hats now. Everybody's got an
Everyone's got a
aggro
vest.
attitude.
I'm like, what is happening?
I drive a big truck.
Yeah. You know, I walked in this morning and this MF tried to brand me as I walked in the door. I'm supposed to have a
That's a good idea, by the way.
I'm supposed to have a TV on my shoulder. I'm part of the Tom Van family. I'm Van family rules.
We should brand everybody at T&D Media.
But
with the
only
T&D.
only on the inside of their uterus. Like those
God, it
you know.
really is a cult.
Isn't that what how do you even do that? You know, that would ruin sex for me. I've heard stories of like, oh, well, that guy he branded her on the inside of her uterus. I was like, I don't want to see that stuff. I don't want to see that far. I just go in. I just put the thing in,
No.
and then I just do the thing.
No.
But I don't want to know. I don't want to be in the. I don't want to be. I
yeah.
want to get what I can get out of the Matrix, the benefits of it. I don't need to see the zeros and ones.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yeah, I don't need to see the walls turn green.
Oh, if you got green walls, you better go to the
my
doctor.
God.
Oh, yeah, the ones and zeros. Anyway.
Sugar walls. Let's do one or two more here. Let me find those good ones. Let's try this one.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Short time BDM, long time listener.
Finally
I
got
got
you.
a couple questions. maybe you can help me out. Sorry about my dry mouth. I got cotton mouth. Okay, so Tom, is your position still the same on like after you die, like nothing happens or stuff like that, or is it a little different now or something? Because I'm doing a lot of
I
like,
love this guy.
No, if you'll remember, now I have a good memory when it comes to humans, right? Because I got that from my dad.
Jimmy Drymouth.
Do you remember this guy? This is the guy that called in who was having depression, remember? And he called back a bunch of times. The kid. This is the kid.
So it is a kid.
Yeah, well, he's like younger. He's not a kid, but he's like one of our younger listeners. Remember when he called in? He's like, "Hey, I'm just having a tough time. You know, I'm lonely and COVID." You remember him? This is the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
This is the same guy. So
Lonely Dry Mouth.
But we told him, I think we told him to sign up to be a BDM and you'll meet more people. And I guess he did. So
All right.
Did he meet more people?
I don't know.
Hopefully he's in the group.
He
and then-
continues. Obviously, he wants you to believe in God.
Okay.
kind of soul searching and you know, like spiritual stuff. Like, not really sure how to define it, but I'm finding out a lot of cool stuff that's genuinely helping me.
Oh, good.
So I'm just wondering, not saying you need help or not saying anything. I just love you guys, and I feel like very close to you guys, even though you guys don't know me, you know. So just want to see where you guys are at, maybe like spiritually, or where your soul's at, or.
All right, that's a good question. I think that's a legitimate question. Where are we at, the three of us, where are we at spiritually?
Well, I'll go first. As I get older, I will say that I try, because I'm just trying to understand more things, you know what I'm saying? Instead of like dismiss things like I did maybe in my younger years, where I'll be like, that doesn't make any sense, stupid. Move on.
Oh, you still do that, though.
I do. You're right. But
you're
I'm
trying to do a
trying to be
little
better.
bit- okay.
And then, so then I'm trying to look at religion in the form of discipline, and I do respect it for that, and I respect the routine and the discipline of it, and you following certain guidelines and that kind of thing. And I respect people that find spirituality and you know, on the journey of figuring things out, because that's what everybody's doing, right? I just, for myself, I hope there is a heaven. Why wouldn't you? I'd hope there would be something after when your brain shut off, but logically I can't find myself ever believing that, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, once your brain turns off, it seems to me like that is all your consciousness. That's what your consciousness is. It seems like when you die and that dies, that's it.
What's weird from...
It's just nothing.
Yeah, okay. Sam, are you spiritual, you think?
I hope there's something.
I am not.
I'm not either,
I don't want to disappoint this guy. I don't want to disappoint Shy and Dry, though, because it seems like
they're
it's
calling
working
him
for
Shy
him.
and Dry. What a great name.
It's working for him, and so that's good. I think if it works for you, that's great. I do not believe.
My religion,
I'm not a believer.
I think, and it goes back to kind of what I was saying earlier, I think my religion is people. And I think my dad's religion was people. Like, I think that he got off on the friendships and the relationships he had in finding the good in humans. And there's not a lot of people doing that right now, even though I do feel like there is good. I do.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I do. But it's harder to look at now because there is, the magnifying glass and the focus has been put on the bad.
Yeah.
Because, we even know that I'm designed to get something bad and put it in my brain and then let it fester there. And that's just not the way I want to do things anymore, because it's just not healthy. So I think I'm still on my journey of figuring out what being spiritual even means to me.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means to me.
It's all, life is all about figuring it out for yourself and doing whatever's best for you and whatever gets you in the best mindset and makes you have the best life possible, right? So whatever, without harming anybody else.
Yeah.
And as long as you can do that and, make the world a little better than you left it.
I think that's a good question. This guy's he's one of our more, I think, sensitive and shy listeners. That's a great
if
question.
he was going through, a tough time and he's finding spirituality is helping him and his mindset, I think that's great.
Yeah. To me, though, the idea of the afterlife is more scary than your brain shuts off.
Man, you're taking my part because you know what
like,
I thought
I'm
of when
like,
you said
what?
brain sweat shuts off, and then you know what it terrifies me?
mean?
You know what terrifies me, and I hope I'm not terrifying Sam by saying this, but it's like, okay, brain shuts off. I can deal with all of that. Like click, and then it's like nothing. But then it's like click, it's back on. Well, what the hell am I looking?
Where am I?
Like what the hell?
Did I believe in the right one?
Yeah, where am I? I don't want
I got it wrong.
I know, because it's terrifying to think. If
Not even my fault. I was born at a certain
and how long
geographic location. They told me this was right.
Yeah, how
Not
long do
fault.
they give you? Do they give you 5 seconds once it turns off for you to like, and then no, man, I'm out.
Yeah.
Just leave it turned off.
And then when you turn into a ghost, why don't you have your personality? Why are you just?
Well,
what's
those
wrong
are
with
the
you? Are
ones
you
that
on
are stuck
oxy?
Maybe
here
it's
with
fun.
unfinished business.
I thought about that. Maybe that's just
but
fun.
Why do you turn into an Oxycontin ghost?
But what if being normal as a ghost is not fun? What if you're just like being normal and then you're like, oh, watch this, it feels so good. Oh God, that feels good. What if that's like if you're a ghost, that's like the thing you do?
I guess.
Oh man,
you can't get your soul back until you move on to the other side.
What if the way the ghosts do it is the way to wander through life?
I mean, you kind of do that.
yeah, you gotta do a little bit. A little bit.
You just wander like oblivious to everything. You know.
You're killing it at being ghost, bro.
Wait a minute, you're doing.
I'm ghost life. Hashtag ghost life.
I think
You messed it up. You said ghost.
Hashtag
ghost life.
What I think you're confusing ghost with zombie. Ghosts usually have a bit more direction to what they're doing. They got a purpose. Zombies are the ones that are all like they're kind of jiggy-jagging around, and then a chain link fence stops them.
Yeah, but
Right?
the ghosts like they mainly just like walk across
They
something, or
float.
they're just like, hey.
They don't really have a conversation with you most of the time.
Yeah, they're not. You know, why aren't they like they were when they were alive? Like, hey, well, you walk in, you're like, I'm here. You know, like, why aren't they like that? That's all.
Some are.
Why ain't they like that? Hey, tell me.
Hey, man.
Anyway,
Help me out here, man.
Let's try this one.
Hey guys, I was just listening to the Black Christmas episode, and where D-Rug was talking about anytime he sees somebody with a Tom and Dan sticker, he pulls them over. I actually ran into D-Rug, and he pulled me over and said, "You a Tom and Dan fan?" And he said, "Beat that pussy down." So good dudes. Love you guys.
all right.
Sorry about this. Is that a good dude thing to do? It's like, I do not like the term D-Rug is pulling people over. That is illegal. You're not supposed to, quote, pull people over. You're not law enforcement.
Hold
You're
on.
not. You have no
What does she mean by?
jurisdiction.
Is she mean he just pointed out the window?
Hey!
Or did he like get in front of your car and hit the brakes?
Yeah, we need more information.
Yeah, but did he
She
pull?
sounded happy about it,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
No harm, no foul.
Like, did he-
D-Rug is a handsome man.
Was he driving an I-4, sees your BDM sticker, then gets in front and does that move where he starts tapping his brakes so he forces you to stop?
Forces you to, gets
Yeah.
out with a gun.
Yeah.
When are you going to the lodge with them?
What's the lodge?
It's a
Their-
place. They're
Their
hangout.
club now.
Oh, that's right. Anytime I hear the lodge, I think of the woodshed, and then I think of rope tees.
I'm not sure.
Are you going out with me and Sam next week?
I don't know yet. I have
a lot
to,
of not sures.
Yeah,
don't know
Yeah,
yet.
he's got to fill out the form.
This is just him deflecting. He's not. He's not doing
No,
any
he
of
won't.
it,
He's
no.
got to fill out the form and then submit it, and then we'll get an email confirmation of whether or not you can make it.
Well, I don't know if
Tom's old and lame now. I'm telling you.
Come on, dude.
we're going out of town.
Stay in town for the love of God.
I was in town. I was stuck in town for 2 weeks with Corona.
But
I have to get
that's
out of
true,
here.
That's true. They had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
9 trips planned.
Yeah. And
It was like every day a different city. It was like a world tour.
Then we were planning trips with Corona and then betting on like we'll be done with it in 3 days, and then 3 days came like still Corona.
Are
Then
you guys?
cancel the
Are
damn
you guys
trip.
uncomfortable in your own home?
No, but we are fidgety and want to go and
You want to keep moving.
I swear I have the mindset, and every day, and maybe this is no way to live because you just be in the moment. But I look at my sons, and like they look older and older every day, and that's how it happens, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they also have that disease that makes them age. They don't.
Like Tommy, he's now his head,
His voice is lower,
is up to my
dude.
T's.
His voice is lower, Sam.
Oh, really?
No, it's not. I mean, yeah, but he's
Dude,
like
his
a little
voice is
boy. You know,
different.
he's not a. You
But
know,
he's as tall as your T's now?
Yeah, and it's like he's turning 8 years old in a couple months,
That's
and then
insane.
And then so
Oh, man.
I'm just like it's gonna be done. We gotta just pack in as much stuff as possible because. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why we got to start, scheduling time off so you guys can raise your children
The
and have fun.
The shame of I don't do anything with my daughter. Nothing with her. She does things with me.
Yeah, but
she's like, "Come to this." I'm like, all right.
Well, yeah, but
You're
she's
supporting her, though. That's good.
Oh yeah, I'll always support her.
I mean, she's gonna be the CEO of the biggest company. She's
I don't know.
independent, doing her own
She's
stuff.
going to be an
like,
Olympic athlete.
Yeah. Like she's on the
Real
on
talk,
the road
though,
to success.
Real talk, and you know this is real talk because I've talked about it off air. Her independence hurts my feelings because I'm too sensitive.
Yeah. Like I want my sons to be more independent, like Maisie.
I want
Maisie
Maisie to be more dependent and need daddy more, and she does not run that way. And he and I were talking about it this morning, and it makes me very sad that she doesn't need me I don't feel needed, and I want to feel needed. I don't know if we should even talk about this.
That's why you want another kid.
But it's real. I don't really want another kid. Now,
No.
I don't
Just
really
get
want
more
another
pee-pee
kid.
dogs.
Add to the pee-pee collection.
He named it. He
Just get an army of pee-pee dogs.
said that last night to my wife. I said, I'm going to have to up the pee-pees.
Scream Andrea like Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, my God. I'm becoming Ozzy Osbourne.
Then you cheat on your makeup artist.
That doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay,
make it
if
work.
you told me that my 2022 included me getting 5 more pee-pee dogs and I get sex with another woman, I'm like, that's pretty good. That's way better than
And
2021.
Andrea won't leave you.
No, she'll never leave me.
Just like Sharon.
Yes. My God, 2022 is going to be awesome for me, man.
That's good. You know, screw the trips.
I just got to get used to rough sex with John the Barber. Oh, man, that's going to be rough. That'd be terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It's a muscle
They
man.
got things at Fairvilla to help
He'll
you
just
out.
wrap me up, American Combat Club my ass. All right, let me find one more voicemail to get us out of here.
All
Because we're sort of done with it, sort of not done with it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Is it the rods?
Yeah.
Yes.
The voicemail is entitled, quote, Rods.
So I must have missed an episode or something, or I missed something because there's some hot topic about dowsing rods. And for about the past 20 years, I thought they worked. I never questioned it. But after looking it up online, like Tom says, I will agree, it's bullshit. 100% bullshit. Also, I use Cottonelle wet wipes. I don't use dry TP. Dry TP is disgusting. Cottonelle all the way.
What is this guy going back to 2011, our show?
By the way, people are still full on rods and believe it, and there's
More than ever.
There's no convincing them otherwise.
I love it.
I'm going to give you a fact that
It doesn't matter what you say or what the reality is.
Gotta have faith.
Full rods.
I'm going to give you a fact that both of you guys will not understand. When we started this show, we had almost like a 50-50 split of people believing in rods and not believing in rods. As we sit right now, 75% of our listening audience believes in rods.
You got bigger.
I don't know how that happens.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens.
Yeah.
I think they just assume Tom's wrong, right?
That and it just like they didn't bother to do their own research.
Rods are hotter than ever. Rods are hotter than ever.
Yeah, they're like, it works. And I've seen the proof.
Now,
I've
where are
seen
we
it.
at? Let's get back to the second part of his. Let's talk about Cottonelle wipes for a little while because we went through. I have not used them since the pandemic started. So it's been 2 years. And I was one of the biggest proponent. Yeah, I have not used them in over 2 years because I was shamed by plumber after plumber listener.
Oh, yeah,
Tom,
clog your pipes.
You.
Well, you're just not supposed to flush them.
Yeah, you're just not.
Well,
But what am I going to do with it? I'm
trash.
going to eat it? Like what?
You gotta have
It's
the
not
doo-doo
like a
trash.
secret
Oh, I don't
code or
want
something.
doo-doo in my tiny toilet
I'm
trash
not a
basket.
Spanish grandma. I do not wipe my butt and put it in the trash.
yeah.
I do not do that.
It'll stink.
It will stink.
Yeah.
It will dry stink.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
doing that. It's just not.
Yeah.
No, I'm just not doing that. It's the same reason if I have a chicken carcass from like Thanksgiving or something, like turkey or something, I take it out to the trash can. I don't leave it in my kitchen trash can. I take it all the way out. The same goes for toilet paper when Latin people don't understand that, yes, we can flush toilet paper here. So it's okay. You're good.
You can flush wet wipes.
I'm going to. I'm going back.
Eventually, you'll have a problem, but then you just hire a plumber. They go in there.
Here's my question. Why do they sell them?
Because they make money.
No, but I feel like...
Well, they sell them because they work and people buy them.
No, but they
give
should...
They tell... Well, some of them do say flushable, which that is on them.
But they can't
There's got to be a class action lawsuit against people that have had their pipes messed up, right? When it says they're flushable.
Okay, I can put on goggles and I can put on goggles and stand in the Grand Canyon and fly around like an avatar. And you mean to tell me you can't make a piece of paper that can't ruin the septic tanks and the systems?
Why can't you make it disintegrate? Is it because it's more expensive and then people wouldn't pay the extra cost?
I will pay the extra cost. I don't want the problem, but I also want to clean behind. Yeah, I'm your guy.
It's like, why don't they make all water balloons like biodegrade after? Because
that's a perfect example of what I'm saying. Why not just do it? Make it the law. They all have to be this way, and then crank up the cost. That's fine.
Yeah. We pass a bunch of other laws like forcing companies to like make all water balloons.
I have to wear a goddamn
just water balloons, not other balloons.
Well, it seems to be a problem because I get the water balloon. It's like 50 water balloons, and they're on like sticks. This is a new way you fill up water balloons, and then you could fill up 50 at a time, and then you shake them off into a bucket. The problem is the GD water balloon will just stay in your yard or wherever you put it forever. That little piece of rubber, and I kind of feel guilty.
You should
just
feel
leaving
guilty.
that around the earth.
Oh, you got a trash balloon yard?
You know why you should? You know why you should feel guilty? There is a balloon on the Katy Way Trail that I ride my bicycle on, and I ride like once a week on that trail, and have for years. It has been there for the last 13 years. Balloon melted to the concrete. It'll never go away.
I
It'll
feel
never
bad
go
about
away.
that.
Yeah.
Anyway, bye.